All right, well, I'm back on it. Hopefully it won't pop my face up there. Please let me know.
We are live. Good evening, folks. I've got a bit of a frog here, and I hope you can understand me. I've had a cold for a while, and every time I get sick, it goes to my throat, and I usually get laryngitis. And I may be like this until spring. Lord, I hope not, but uh, we'll see. I am so glad that you all joined me this evening. We've already got quite a few people here, 153. Wow, at the beginning. That's pretty good. So, is everybody all ready for their big dinner on Thursday? And is everybody having dinner on Thursday? Um, we actually, this year, our family dinner, we got together a little early and we had our family dinner. Hello, Judy. On last Saturday. I was trying to remember what day it was. Like I said, I've had this thing. Uh, but last Saturday, we had our family Thanksgiving. And that's one of the things that I kind of wanted to talk about this evening. It's the day that you have your dinner on with your family is not as important as getting together with your family and not being stressed. I mean, if the day is causing so much stress that you're having trouble getting together, then, change the day because, like, Canada has their Thanksgiving early in October. So maybe if your family can't get together for whatever reason, hello in Arkansas, you know, get together a different day. Celebrate it when Canada celebrates theirs. Or if you're in Canada and you can't get your family together on Thanksgiving Day in Canada, celebrate Thanksgiving with your family when the U.S. has their Thanksgiving. So, just something to think about. It's hard to get together on Thanksgiving Day once your family is all grown because everybody gets married and then they have more than one family Thanksgiving to attend. Like all of my children are now married and they all have to attend Thanksgiving dinners with their spouses' families. So, in order to avoid those conflicts, we just pick a different day because it really does not matter what day of the year you celebrate it on. What we are giving thanks for is our bounty, which we certainly have in this country. Almost all of us do. Got somebody there, Tammy, I think that is from Cumberland Gap. Hi, she's right down the road here. And I had a Chattanooga up there a minute ago. You're pretty close too. And there's Laura in Indiana. Folks are just from all over. But uh, North Georgia, that's actually where I'm going to be at on Thanksgiving. I'm going to go back to North Georgia, and on Thanksgiving Day, I'm doing something a little different, something that I have not done in my whole life. Certainly not since I was married and had a family for the last 38, 39 years. I have cooked every single year on Thanksgiving Day. And this year I'm doing something a little bit different. So I got Texas, South Carolina, North Carolina, Ohio, all popping up over here, Montana, Southwest Virginia, Nashville, Kentucky, Oklahoma, the Gulf Coast, folks from everywhere. There's another Kentucky. But, if you celebrated a different day, that's okay. And I don't know what is going on with my light on here. It's flashing like light and dark. I have turned the TV off and everything. So I'm sorry about my voice and I'm sorry about the light in here. It's just terrible. But Young, Harris, Hiawassee, Blairsville, in that area, very close to Ellijay, Towns County. So if you're from that area, keep an eye out for me. I'm going to kind of be wandering around and visiting some old places from my childhood. And maybe we'll say Happy Thanksgiving in person. If you are one of those people too who are not celebrating Thanksgiving on Thanksgiving Day, if you celebrated it earlier or if you're celebrating it later, spend Thanksgiving Day doing something maybe for somebody else. If you've celebrated Thanksgiving and you've had lots to be thankful for, do something for somebody else because that will certainly make you grateful for what you have. Um, there, there is truly nothing that makes me appreciate all my blessings more than helping someone who is in need. And, we are all in a position, pretty much, we're all in a position to bless someone else. We all have something that someone else needs that we don't need. And it doesn't necessarily have to be something new, it doesn't have to be something huge, it doesn't even necessarily have to be something tangible. There are a lot of people who just need somebody to come and sit with them and talk with them and spend time with them for an hour or two. So, somebody said they're getting together on Friday. We do a lot of Fridays after Thanksgiving. Thank you so much, Haley. I appreciate that. Happy Thanksgiving to you, and God bless you and your family. Um, just do something for someone else. Like I said, even if it's not tangible, if you celebrate it on Thanksgiving, um, oh, thank you, Koala Bear. I appreciate that. I've been rained on about 6 times today, which is nice, when you've got a cold anyway. uh, Cindy in the Bronx. Oh, happy Thanksgiving. Uh, do you ever go to the Thanksgiving Day parade in New York? Because I always thought that would be something cool to do. Don't know that I'll ever do it. I'm kind of definitely not a city person. Uh, San Antonio, hello. Feel better. Honey, yes, definitely honey and hot water. Been doing that. And some little chamomile tea. How's my chimney? Uh, I fixed it and it's all good. It was a little bit more damaged than I thought when I got up there, but I did get it fixed, got the lift took back. Praise the Lord. My truck is okay. The lift was in one piece and the chimney's fixed. And I've gotten most of the other little projects I wanted to get done. Yeah, I used to always watch the Thanksgiving Day parade when I cooked too. I'd turn it on, and the kids liked it. They liked seeing all the performers and stuff. Oh, thank you, Resurrection Sunday. I appreciate that. Okay, well, we've got about 165 folks with us, and we were up to like 265. I don't know what happened there. Oh, uh, NZ, thank you very much. That just popped up. Keep up the love and sharing you do on your channel. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. uh, and Martha says she used to go to the New Year's Eve parade every year. Okay. A few things about Thanksgiving dinner, I guess, while we're on here, because I do want to cover a few little tips. A lot of people have been posting that they don't have time to thaw their turkey out, or their turkey's not thawed. Put it in a sink full of cold water. That's a safe way to thaw it, and it will thaw much faster than in the refrigerator. It takes days in the refrigerator. It takes hours if you put it in the sink in cold water. and it won't get hot and start growing bacteria or anything. So that's a safe way to do it. You can put it in the sink full of water, fill it all the way up, and it doesn't really do much to drain the water and then put more cold water in the sink. It will speed it up a little bit, but not too much. Just fill it up with cold water and let it sit there. If you have to get it in the oven and it still has some ice in it, and it's still partially frozen, then turn the cold water on. And don't leave it unattended. But if you turn the cold water on and run cold water on it, you can finish thawing it out if it's mostly thawed out in like 15, 20 minutes or so under running cold water. And then you can cook it. And if you do that, if you thaw it out good, it will be much more tender. If you try to cook a turkey that's still partially frozen, that's a very good way to get a super tough, super chewy turkey. And it doesn't matter how long you cook it, it won't be tender if you try to cook it frozen. Any kind of meat you're cooking, you want to make sure you thaw it out before you start cooking it. Otherwise, it will be tough. Janice, I'll answer your question in just a second. Sorry. But thaw it under running water if it's close. If you've got a couple of hours and it's not thawed out, then put the turkey just in a sink full of cold water and let it sit there, and it'll thaw out pretty fast. I mean, it'll thaw out completely. Yeah, somebody said they thaw theirs about 75% in cold water. And you can do that too. If you're going to cook it on Thursday, but it's totally frozen on Wednesday, it takes about 6 hours to totally thaw it out in a sink. So you can put it in a sink and let it sit there for 5 or 6 hours, then take it out and put it in the refrigerator. And then the next morning it'll be ready to go. And you can even leave it in the bag so you don't get stuff all over your refrigerator. But still, if you're putting it in the refrigerator, whether you're putting it in there to totally thaw it or whether you've had it in the sink thawing it, you want to make sure that you put it in a big bowl or a pan or something, the whole bag, so that if the bag leaks, it doesn't run all over your refrigerator. I'm making sweet potato casserole the day before and put it in the fridge. Should I mix in a bowl or a pan that I'm going to bake it in? I always mix mine up in the pan I'm going to make it in. And if you watch my sweet potato casserole video, I bake my sweet potatoes. I don't boil them, and that makes them, they have way more flavor. And I bake my sweet potatoes for my sweet potato pie too. Any tips for heating it up the next day? Cover it with foil if you're going to bake it first. If you're going to bake it and then put it in the fridge, just make sure you cover it tight with foil. That keeps it from drying out when you're heating it up. And you can bake it the day before. The question that I was asked earlier that I said I would answer, how long has it been since Brett passed? He passed a little over 2 years ago. It was 2 years in September. And, we're adjusting, and he will always be missed, and he will always be a part of our Thanksgiving for sure, because he loved family get-togethers. Somebody said that they were watching my sausage balls from last year. I just posted them again. I'm posting all of the Thanksgiving recipes on the community page. So if you are looking for Thanksgiving recipes, they are on the community page. If you just type in your YouTube search of whatever it is, like sweet potato casserole, Hillbilly Kitchen, it'll pull up our videos. Corn casserole, Hillbilly Kitchen, cornbread dressing, Hillbilly Kitchen, how to cook a turkey, Hillbilly Kitchen, or just turkey, Hillbilly Kitchen. It'll pull that up. Ham, Hillbilly Kitchen, green bean casserole, whatever you're looking for, it'll pull up our video if you type it in the search bar. Excuse me. Oh, I'm so sorry, Virginia. And I know, even though it's 2 years, it's still very much a part of your life. And it's an everyday thing. Oh, I'm sorry, Jan. I mean, I know what it's like to have that empty seat at the table. I agree with Cindy. Everybody just eat way too much and then take a nap. Hello, Melinda, and I'm sorry you're sick. I will be praying for you that you feel better by Thanksgiving or before Thanksgiving. Hold on. I saw a Thanksgiving question there. Is it okay to leave food in the oven at the lowest setting, keep it warm? My oven's lowest setting is 170. Yes, it is. And I usually leave mine set on at least, I don't know. Yeah, it would probably be okay on 170. I probably overdo it. I leave mine set on like 200. And if you have to leave it in there for a long time, though, 200 does tend to dry it out. So maybe I'll try 170. I kind of overdo things like that, though. Uh, I would love for you. I have done gravy videos, Country Driver 3. Check out our gravy videos because I explain it in detail and gravy is super simple. I have up a gravy make it or a video on how to make gravy out of the drippings in your turkey pan. It's so easy. You'll never buy that old packaged gravy or jar gravy again, and it is absolutely delicious. All you really need is a little cornstarch. So watch the turkey gravy video. Just type in turkey gravy Hillbilly Kitchen and it'll pull it up. And I will be sharing that one on the community page for sure. And I have up a sausage gravy video and a bacon gravy video. Um, Beef gravy, I think. I've done beef gravy several times, but we're going to do that one again. Just the gravy, so you know how to make that, if you have like leftover roast and stuff. But I made it with the beef and gravy. I just put a video up for that. Just type in beef gravy and it'll pull that up if you want to know how to do that. But if you want to make gravy for Thanksgiving, definitely look up that turkey gravy video. And if you just type in turkey gravy and Hillbilly Kitchen, it'll pull it right up. Oh, Becky Walker in Washington. There are a lot of Becky Walkers. There's actually one right here in town, and she married a man named Brett, and we got their mail and they got ours for years. And there's not very many people named Brett, not really. And to have a Brett and Becky Walker in the same town, it made a mess at the post office. I think they moved though. Thank you all for all of you who are praying that I get better. I really am not feeling that bad now. I'm a little tired because I've been sick, and I'm a little tired because we did Thanksgiving on Saturday, and then I've been running around doing other things too. But mostly it's just in my throat, and it gets there and it just stays there for forever. Yeah. I, you know, I, I understand about putting a smile on your face and faking it when you've lost someone for everybody else around. And sometimes you have to do that. Um, it's just the only way you can get through because sometimes you just can't bear to deal with everybody else's emotions. Got somebody from Morristown. Yep, they're my neighbors. I actually saw some folks. I was in Morristown yesterday and I saw some folks who watched. Somebody said they were making the impossible pie in the blender. That impossible pie, if you have never had it, it is so easy to make and it is absolutely delicious. It's basically a coconut makes its own crust. You just stick it in the blender, and then pour it in a greased pie shell, and it is so good. Or not a greased pie shell, a greased pie pan. You don't use a pie shell at all. You just grease your pie pan, put the ingredients in a blender, and pour it in there. And that's a good one for Thanksgiving. That impossible pie. We've got up a no bake pumpkin pie. We've got up a regular pumpkin pie. We have a couple of lemon pies up. The old fashioned chocolate cream pie, and that's a really old video. I put it up a while ago. Actually, it was put up the first year I started making videos. And meringue, one of the ladies in the bank today told me that she had just made meringue using my meringue video, and it's been up, goodness gracious, since 2015 anyway. So, somebody said, "Do I cook for everyone?" Yeah, I cook. I do all the cooking. That's everybody just came and ate dinner on Saturday, and we sat around and visited for a while, and then I cleaned up too. I need to take some of the advice from that 10 tips on how to have a stress-free Thanksgiving. I give really good advice. I just don't take it. I've got a pecan pie too. If you're looking for pecan pie, um, oh my goodness, I'm trying to think what else. If you're looking for a pie, I probably have a video up for it. Oh, the buttermilk pie is a really good one for Thanksgiving. It's like an old-fashioned custard pie. If you're looking for something like that, and it's really easy to make. Okay, what happened here? I missed something because folks are talking to somebody. Oh, I'm sorry for the loss of your son. That I understand. I mean, I don't know the pain of losing a child, but I do know that pain of the empty seat, and I will keep you in my prayers. And I've got my holiday buddy now too. My new holiday buddy, Charlotte, this year brought over all the stuff from Charlie Brown's Thanksgiving to Thanksgiving dinner. She brought toast and jelly beans and pretzel sticks and oh gosh, uh, what else did they have? Oh, popcorn. And she had it all in bowls covered with saran wrap. And she came in and set it down right in the middle of the table. So all of the stuff I fixed for Thanksgiving dinner, I served it over on the stove. So her Charlie Brown Thanksgiving was on the table, and we had a buffet over on the stove. But she's 9 now, and she's really getting into it. Watching in Dandridge. Hello. Yeah, you're just right down the road. Oh, I know the flu's going around, and I'm not sure this wasn't the flu because it was pretty bad. I like watching. I still watch all the Charlie Brown cartoons every holiday for sure. And that's kind of turned into mine and Charlotte's thing, or one of them. We watch them together. And Brett used to watch them with me. Like if you look on his Facebook memories, he would have posted watching Charlie Brown Thanksgiving with Becky or watching Charlie Brown Christmas with Becky for the 25th year in a row. But he always watched them with me, and he always made sure that I could find them because when they weren't coming on TV anymore, he always found them on the internet. Uh, Pineapple juice. I have not tried pineapple juice for my cough, but I love pineapple juice and pineapples, so I'll have to try that. Uh, okay. Um, Does anybody have any specific questions about cooking their Thanksgiving dinner? Um, I was going to try to answer questions if I could. I was also going to tell you about some of the videos that we have up. We do have a Thanksgiving playlist, and I don't know how to link it to this live stream if I can or not. If I can, I haven't figured out how to. I might be able to put it in once we're not live anymore, but I will share it. I mean, once I get it all done, I can put it in the description of this. And it has all of our Thanksgiving recipes in it, and you can go there and look them up if you need recipes. You can click on that playlist and scroll through it and find the recipe you're looking for. I have a question. What am I most grateful for? I am absolutely most grateful for my salvation and the assurance that I am going to have an eternal home with my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. So, for my Savior, thank you, Lord. Low carb sides. Oh my goodness, carrot sticks. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's Thanksgiving. There's not much low carb that we do on Thanksgiving. Sometimes I used to do a vegetable tray and we would snack on that before we had dinner. But low carb sides, I really don't know. What do I put in my mashed potatoes? I actually have up a mashed potato video. In If you type in mashed potatoes Hillbilly Kitchen, it'll pull it up. And I make them different ways. The basic is just milk, whole milk, butter, salt and pepper. And normally I mash them with a potato masher. Sometimes on like Thanksgiving, though, I'll whip them with the mixer. Uh, there's a lot of tips in that mashed potato video if you've never made mashed potatoes, because there are some things that will change them. I will tell you this: do not put your mashed potatoes in a blender or even use a hand blender. You can use a hand mixer, but not a blender. If you are trying to get lumps out of them, because a blender changes the texture. The job of a blender is to liquefy, and it will turn potatoes into glue. They are completely inedible. So you can use your hand mixer, but don't use a blender of any kind on your mashed potatoes. My gravy is not very thick. What can I do to thicken it without making it lumpy? Um, Put some cornstarch in a little water, in a little cold water, dissolve cornstarch in a little cold water, and then add it to your gravy slowly and heat the gravy up. You have to bring it back to a boil once you add the cornstarch to it, but heat the gravy to a boil and it will thicken it up without making it lumpy. And if you watch that turkey gravy video, I tell you how to do that in that video, and I show you how to do it. So type in turkey gravy, the Hillbilly Kitchen, and you can see me do that, and I will show you how to do it. Yep. Bacon cornbread for the dressing tonight. Yep, make it tonight. And yeah, Kenny's right. A salad would be a good low carb side for folks that are going low carb with a lot of vegetables, not with a lot of fruit. Uh, Gosh, I'm trying to think low carb. I could probably do low calorie easier than low carb on Thanksgiving, because just green beans and green beans with bacon in them even would be a good low carb side for those low carb folks, because they don't have a lot of carbs in them or starch. Yes, Brett was my husband. We were married 36 years and we have 4 children together. Sometimes I do sour cream in my mashed potatoes, not usually Greek yogurt, but that would work too. And I talk about some of that stuff in that mashed potato video. If, like I said, if you want more tips, cooking your turkey tonight and reheating it on Thanksgiving. If I was gonna cook it tonight and reheat it, I probably would go ahead and slice it and just kind of sit the legs and stuff around and strip off some of the dark meat. I would pour the juice over it, almost all of it, put it in like one of your casserole dishes and pour some of the juice over it and reheat it that way, and it won't be dry. But reheating the whole turkey, uh, leave all the juice in it or as much as you can. Flip the breast upside down in the juice so that it has the juice on it and wrap it up super tight. But the best way would be to slice the white meat, strip off the dark meat, maybe stick the legs in with it, put it down in a casserole dish, and put some of the drippings on it. And that'll keep it from drying out. Oh, yeah, garlic butter and chives and all that stuff's good, and mashed potatoes. Tips for roasting a beef brisket. Oh my goodness. Slow. Don't let it dry out. And use seasonings that you like for sure. A lot of times those are smoked, and that's a whole nother process. I don't have up a video for doing a beef brisket. And I actually bought a grill last year for the sole that has a smoker on it for the sole purpose of doing some stuff like a brisket. I would recommend looking up a good video on YouTube of how to make a beef brisket because it is kind of a special process. Um, you can cook it like a roast in your oven too, though. And I have up a pot roast. I used to have up a video where did a roast in the oven, but I think we had to take that down because it didn't comply with some new content policies. So look up a good video on how to do a brisket, and I'm going to try and get one up next spring maybe, so you have it all through the summer because it's usually something folks do in the summer when they can sit outside. Yep, sour cream and onions are delicious in mashed potatoes. Let me see if I can find a couple more questions here. Oh, thank you, loving Jesus always. We're praying for your Thanksgiving and your safety as well. Virginia, I have up tons of cream cheese recipes. And I think as long as I have put that word in the tag, if you type in cream cheese in the Hillbilly Kitchen, it'll pull that up. And I've got up some really good, easy appetizers, some pinwheels that you do with the flour tortillas. I've got up some ham and cheese ones and some pizza ones. And Alex made some ham and cheese ones for Thanksgiving this year. And we had those with Charlotte's Charlie Brown Thanksgiving before Thanksgiving dinner. Lots of folks do roasted chickens because they don't like the flavor of turkey, and that's perfectly fine. Can I make buttermilk from powdered milk? Well, I have up a video on how to uh, make substitute regular milk for buttermilk by adding either vinegar or lemon juice to the regular milk. And I have never tried to do it with powdered milk. If I was going to try, I've never tried it, and I know some stuff with powdered milk does not work. If all I had was powdered milk and I was going to try and turn it into buttermilk, I would make it a little bit stronger. Like instead of using a quarter of a cup of powdered milk and a cup of water, I would use a half cup of powdered milk and a cup of water. I would mix it up and let it sit until the foam settles. Then I would add my vinegar or my lemon juice, because anything I do with powdered milk, I find that if it is a little bit thicker or a little bit stronger, whatever you want to call it, if I mix it up a little stronger, it works better. What is my favorite dessert? Um, if it has sugar as an ingredient, I like a lot of pies. I love lemon pie. I love that impossible pie. I like. I've got a chocolate pie, and it's a no bake chocolate pie. It is absolutely delicious. I think it's called chocolate pudding pie is what it's called in the title. I love pumpkin pie. At like pumpkin pie, I'll eat it for breakfast when I if I've got extra after Thanksgiving. And pumpkin pie was always a Thanksgiving breakfast tradition. I would bake all the pies the day before, and because I had the kitchen all tied up with Thanksgiving, cooking Thanksgiving dinner, I would let the kids cut a pumpkin pie for breakfast and have pumpkin pie for breakfast. So we always had pumpkin pie for breakfast, me and the kids on Thanksgiving morning. Of course, Brett would have to have something else. He'd make it hard. That's a man's job on Thanksgiving. In case y'all didn't know, a man's job on Thanksgiving is to do something to make life hard. Um, I like Jello desserts too. Just because they remind me of childhood, I think. And I have I have a one. It's called mosaic cake or stained glass pie. Some people call it, and it's something that my mother-in-law used to make on all the holidays. And it's basically just Jello mixed with Cool Whip, and then it has Jello that's gelled like the jigglers, chopped up in it, and you put that in a pie. And my kids always love that. Um, Gosh, I don't know my favorite dessert. I really don't know. I just like dessert, which is getting to be a problem. And the older I get, the more of a problem it is. I bake my turkey all night long on low temperature. What temperature do you use to bake it all night long? Because I usually bake mine for several hours too. And uh, that new stove I've got has a convection roast on it, and I still am not used to it. I only use it a couple of times a year, but it will bake a turkey like 3 times as fast as an oven that doesn't have convection. It's crazy. You turn it on 325, and it should take 7 8 hours to bake a turkey, and it's done in like three. I don't, and it'll do the same thing with a roast. I can't get used to it. I like pumpkin anything too. Oh, I've got a. If y'all like pumpkin rolls, check out that pumpkin roll video that I have up, because it's a whole lot easier than folks used to make it out to be. Uh, a whole lot easier. I found a few tips somewhere. I actually went searching for tips on how to do it easy. And pumpkin rolls are wonderful this time of year, and they cost a fortune, but they are very easy to make, and they make a nice gift too. If you're going to somebody else's house, take a couple pumpkin rolls. Or if you want to give stuff to folks at work, make pumpkin rolls and give them out. Pecan pie, apple pie, yep. Sweet potato pie, yep. And I have up all those videos. I did it. The apple pie video. I actually went out in the yard and picked the pies off the apple. Or pick the pie, pick the apples off the tree in the backyard. Listen to me. I was reading a comment and talking. If you're gonna cook your turkey overnight, the advice on here is 275, and it's always juicy and moist. Thank you for that. Anyway, my my apple pie video. I actually went out in the backyard, picked the apples, Brought them in, peeled them, and made one of those big high apple pies, that you start with uncooked apples, the old fashioned apple pie kind of apple pie, and made the crust and everything for it. And I got done with that. And I told Brett, I said, you know what? If people had to start from scratch to get every dessert that they ate and make it from scratch, we'd all weigh a whole lot less because it took all day long to make that apple pie. So if you're doing that for Thanksgiving, you do that, take it to somebody else's house. Don't do that if everybody's coming to your house and you're cooking Thanksgiving dinner because it'll take all day to make an apple pie that way. I have a couple recipes for chocolate pie. If you've never made one before, I recommend that chocolate pudding pie. And you do have to cook it, but it's a milk chocolate pudding pie, I think is what it's called. It is absolutely delicious. And if you follow the directions, it will come out. But watch the video before you start making it so you get all the directions. Yeah, I love my apple trees. I planted them when we built the house. And I'm going to have to graft them and start some new ones soon because they're getting so old. They're going to die. I, I want to I have been planning for years to do a vinegar pie, and I have not put that up yet, but I will. Yeah, I have a fresh apple cake video that I just put up this year, and it is delicious. And apple cake is another good dessert to take for Thanksgiving. And it's one of those old fashioned desserts, too. And, people tend to like those on Thanksgiving. But if you're not a baker, there's a lot of no bake pies that you can make and take, or that you can make, even at your Thanksgiving. Yeah, we really like those too, but those didn't comply with YouTube's policies. Uh, you know, we can't even have a loud noise anymore. And those intros were so cute. We actually had to take down a lot of them because of that. I also want to do an old fashioned apple stack cake. I saw some in the grocery store today, and they're not even making real stack cakes. They made just like a regular yellow cake, and then took a cake leveler and cut it in half and turned that into a stack cake. Well, that's not a stack cake. It's totally different. Do the words vinegar and pie even go together? If you've ever had a vinegar pie, you know they do. A vinegar pie is delicious. And you wouldn't think a buttermilk pie would be either, but it is absolutely one of my favorite pies. And for a little while there, I was getting a half a gallon of buttermilk if I needed like a half cup of buttermilk in a recipe, because half a gallon, it's way cheaper to buy it by half a gallon than it is just to buy a quart or something, or a pint. And all the rest of it, I was making buttermilk pies out of. And I had to buy new breeches, so I had to quit that. Oh. Let's see if we got any more questions here that I haven't answered about Thanksgiving dinner. There's so many coming in. And there's 229 of y'all on here asking questions. I can't answer them all. And I clearly can't read and talk at the same time because I was picking a pie off the tree. Hope, when is Canada's Thanksgiving exactly? I know it's in October. It seems like it's on a Monday too, but I can't remember. I want a pie tree too, because picking the apples. As Cindy said, or wait a minute, Cynthia, or Cynthia. I don't have my glasses on either. That's making it easy to read. Said she wants a pie tree like mine. That'd be easier than picking apples and making a pie. Uh, yeah, that's me. I've never made a pie I didn't like. We might try to do a smoked turkey next year too, because like I said, I got that grill that has a smoker on it. I got it a really good deal on it. I got it on clearance, and when I got it just so I could do some of those videos, and I hadn't done any yet. So I'll get on a couple of smoker videos. Uh, I do not use condensed milk in my regular pumpkin pie, and I'm trying to think if I used it in the no bake. That if I might have used it in the no bake pumpkin pie, but I'm having trouble remembering what the ingredients. But look up the no bake, just no bake pumpkin pie Hillbilly Kitchen, and it'll pull it up. And that is, I tried. Everybody was doing no bake pumpkin pies. I was seeing no bake pumpkin pie recipes everywhere. And I looked at like 15 no bake pumpkin pie recipes, and some of them I could tell by looking at them they weren't going to be good. And I tried like three, I think, and did different combinations on them. And finally, just kind of modified the best parts of those three recipes. And that's how I came up with that no bake pumpkin pie recipe that I have up. But it really is a good pumpkin pie, and it's a no bake pumpkin pie. And I might have used condensed milk in it. I do not remember. I do have a couple no bake pies that use condensed milk. And condensed milk is a great time saver when you're doing desserts because it's already cooked. So you can do a lot of no bake desserts with condensed milk. Well, now I've messed up my chat here. I'm sorry I've messed up my chat and I can't see what I'm doing here. Why is it? Okay. Canada's Thanksgiving is October the 14th. Thank you. Uh, Thank you, Laura. I appreciate that. Can you make a pea salad video? You know what? I've got that in a stack of recipes that I'm going to do, and I was going to try to get it up by Thanksgiving, but I think I've run out of time to get it up before Thanksgiving. But I will try to get it up before Christmas. uh, Recipes like the pea salad and the broccoli salad and stuff, they're kind of a tradition in the South, and folks sure take them, to church dinners and things like that. Like mixed potatoes. Um, Baked sweet potatoes in spice cider with dried cherries, no sugar needed. That does sound good. The canned pumpkin has a recipe. Okay. I usually use brown sugar in my pumpkin pies, which um, I think makes them really good. It was a mistake that my mom made. She put brown sugar in them one year accidentally instead of regular white sugar, and they just came out so much better. They were richer, and the flavor was just better. And it's one of those things that we've been doing ever since. And she did that when I was a little girl. Well, oh, Aunt Nessie's Vanessa. I'm sorry, Vanessa. I didn't recognize you. And sometimes I can see with my glasses, and sometimes I can't. So, and they're them transitional bifocal things. I have a horrible time with them, but I do need them. Tammy, I will certainly keep you in my prayers, and I am very sorry for your loss, and I do know what you're going through. I know this year the holidays are just through, and I will keep you in my prayers. I actually look a little better with my glasses on too. I ought to put them on because this sitting here in front of this webcam is rough. Uh, and thank you to all the people who are praying here. 62 pounds. I am so happy for you. I hope you lose every ounce you want to lose. Well, folks, we have been on here for 50 minutes. Um, so I guess I probably ought to start wrapping this up. I will put that Thanksgiving playlist in the description of this, and if they'll let me attach it in here so folks who are watching it later, um, I will attach it at the end, like the end cards in the other videos. I want to thank you so much for being on here with me, and I want to thank you all for praying for this frog that I've picked up out here somewhere and send him back to the pond. I hope you all truly have a blessed Thanksgiving. And I want to leave you with, I think it's Hebrews. I can't remember the verse. I think it's Hebrews 4:14, but don't, it's Hebrews, but I'm not sure the exact verse. But it is, if it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men. And I know during Thanksgiving, those family tensions kind of tend to get high, and people tend to bring stuff to the table that needs to stay away from the table. And sometimes those old hurt feelings come up. And we've all got that family member who just has one insult after another. So, as much as is possible in you, let that stuff go. Keep the peace. Live peaceably with these people. Let them have their little spark comments because it really don't affect who we are. Thank you again for joining us. And God bless you all. I hope you all have a truly blessed Thanksgiving. I hope you spend it with people that you love, or you spend it doing something that you love. Until next time, remember to put God first. Good night, everybody, and happy Thanksgiving.